All right. Get it going right here, right now. This is Eyes Up Here. You're listening, watching a brand new Eyes Up Here on our YouTube channel. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad, and every single week I'm joined here by the one and only queen of extreme, Francine, broadcasting live from the Eyes Up Here studio. And as we start off every single episode of Eyes Up Here, the dying question I have is, how are you doing on this glorious recording day? What is this today? Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
Not a normal recording day for us.
No. Lower that music.
I am.
Please.
Subtly.
Yeah. I hate talking over the music. You know that.
I'm subtly lowering it.
You're terrible. Well, if you really must know, this is going to be another bitching session from me because I'm telling you, tomorrow I have my GI appointment.
Oh yeah, here we go. More doctor news.
It's the gastro doctor, for those of you who don't know. So just a quick backstory. Everybody knows that I had 3 surgeries done to my abdominal region, and none of the surgeries took. So the third one, they put the mesh in my belly to hold my abdominals together because my babies were 9 and 10 pounds, and they destroyed my core, my body, my middle section, you know. And yeah, thank you for that. He's cheersing to the destruction of my abdominal region. So I've been now experiencing pain when I eat, and it's like, it doesn't matter if it's a big meal, a small meal, anything I eat, I get pain and I bloat, and I am thin everywhere but my stomach and my ass. But I like my ass big. My ass is good. I don't like my midsection. So I went last week and I got a CT scan done, and they didn't find anything. I had a bunch of other tests done, which has nothing to do with the middle part, but now I'm going to a GI doctor. I have to get that upper and lower colonoscopy, so I'm going to go and get that done. But I want to see if, like, what am I doing that I can't even eat food? You know what I mean? Like, it hurts. Yeah. Like, the pain is so bad that sometimes I'm literally holding my stomach after I eat and I'm doubled over in pain. Oof. And I'm a foodie. I love food. I've loved food my whole life. You know, some people eat because they have to eat. I can, like, look at a picture of food and start salivating and say, I really want that right now. Like, I love to eat food. It is such a bummer when you have something in front of you that is so appetizing and so delicious, and it's good going down, and then like 5 seconds after you take your last bite, that pain just comes, and you're just like, oh. Like, I ate lunch today. Do you know what I ate for lunch?
What'd you eat?
I had a protein oatmeal pack, right? 30 grams of protein with some 2% milk, a little splash of heavy cream just to give it a little bit of thickness. And then I had a 130 calorie pack of thin pita chips and water and all of my supplements. That's all I had and a cup of coffee earlier today for breakfast. That was my coffee. That's all I had all day. It's what, 115, right? So that's probably not even 600 calories worth of food. My stomach now is killing me. It hurts so freaking bad. And I don't know why. And they keep stuffing me in machines and probing me here and doing this and doing that. And they can't find anything wrong with me. Damn. And it's like, bruh, something's there. I have like an alien in my stomach or something. I don't know what it is.
What is the scene from Alien going to happen?
Yeah.
Like bursts out of you?
It literally feels like somebody's in there with the palms of their hands pushing on my stomach. That's what it like, an aggressive shove. Like, bitch, I want to get out of here. You know what I mean? It hurts so bad. And I'm so upset because I love food. So what, am I not supposed to eat the rest of my life?
I'm sorry. We've come to the decision. You're not allowed to eat for the rest of your life.
I'm so sad about this. So I'm hoping tomorrow, like, I don't think he'll have any answers like right away, but maybe there's like testing. Like a friend of mine said, maybe you have a gluten issue. But I don't. Do I eat a lot of gluten? I don't think I do.
Well, I mean that that gluten, that pesky little thing in that food. Something in there might be a trigger. You never know.
Yeah, but I eat a lot of chicken, a lot of steak. I do eat white rice. There's gluten in white rice, I'm assuming?
I don't know.
It's not, no, I'm sorry, it's not white rice, it's jasmine rice I eat.
I stopped eating rice years ago.
Oh, we like jasmine rice. But I eat vegetables. Like last night we had a stir fry. I had zucchini, green beans, chicken. That was my stir fry. That's what I had for dinner. And when I was done, I was dying. And I had to drive my daughter to the CCD. And I was like, this in the car. Oh, I'm dying. Help me.
So well, you were in the right place if you were dying.
I was praying to God.
Some intervention.
Help me, By the way, I've been to church the last 3 weeks. How about that?
Very nice.
The last 3 weekends, we've been to church like the good Catholics that we are. We're starting fresh. I'm missing this weekend because I won't be home, but God will forgive me because, I'm making an effort. But yeah, things are going pretty good with church. But I mean, as far as my stomach goes, I don't know what the heck's going on. So, tomorrow maybe I'll find an answer.
We had our streak broken by our church's Oktoberfest.
Oh, you didn't show up?
No, it was crowded because of Oktoberfest.
Yeah. So what happened? You just didn't go inside?
Couldn't make it.
You couldn't make it? How did you know? Wait, hold on.
Hold
on. Oh, you were busy.
No, I said it was too busy. There was too many people.
Did you drive up and you were like, nah?
No, we just knew there was going to be too many people.
So you didn't even make the effort to go. You just
it's like Christmas, the holly lilies, they all come out for the Christmas and the Easter service.
Yeah.
It was not going to be I've told stories before about my church parking lot squabbles. I was not going to have that go on that Oktoberfest weekend.
You just made a call and
we made a call.
So wait a minute. What Oktoberfest is like when you have food, you drink beer, you have big Bavarian pretzels and all that kind of stuff, right? Yep. You eat schnitzel. Mm-hmm. What does that have to do with the Catholic Church?
For some reason, our church, it's like this grand event. They have a whole weekend dedicated to it. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, they shut down the school, like the that's attached to it.
Oh, really?
On the Friday. Yeah. Oh, it's nuts. Yeah. It's a big deal.
Is it crowded for both Saturday and Sunday service?
Yep.
Really? Okay. Yep. See, we went, the first 2 times we went to 9 a.m. mass. And then this weekend that just passed, we said, let's try 5 o'clock. And we did that. And like, everybody must go to 9 because the 5 o'clock was like empty. There was like hardly anyone there, but there was this kid there. Actually, the poor woman, if she was married, her husband was not with her. She had 4 children and she had a toddler and then like a 5-year-old and then 2 older kids with her. Well, that toddler never shut up, was either crying or laughing their ass off. The 5-year-old was running laps up and down the pews, and the priest is like on the mic trying to say the sermon, and he's like, "Oh, at least they're having a good time." And I was just like, and my son's like, "What is going on?" I was like, "It's mayhem." The kids were running amok all around the church. It was just so crazy. But I said, let's try 5 o'clock because, when you go to 9 o'clock mass, you have to be up at 7. Like I'm in the shower at 7 o'clock trying to get ready. And then you have to get the kids ready. And I don't want to call it a hassle, but there's a lot to do on a Sunday morning to make 9 o'clock mass. Right. So I prefer Saturday, to be honest with you. But, I don't know if we're going to make every weekend, but it felt nice being back. I don't know.
No, that's good. Crazy. No, absolutely not. No, that's great that you're doing it. I like it.
Yeah, we're doing it. She's making confirmation, so I have to. Then she comes home with a baby bottle, and it's like, can you? No. She said, we have to fill this up for all the homeless pregnant mothers that are in the shelters with their babies.
Oh my God, that's so funny. We made cookies for prisoners over the weekend.
Did you? Well, I had to fill up a bottle, so I went to the Disney jar. I poured all the change from the Disney jar to this bottle, and then I stuffed the $10 bill in it. I hope that was enough. I don't know.
There you go. Very nice.
So we sent that in as well. But and then I just got a note saying, "Oh, we need $5 donations." I was like, "Oh, is this going to be a weekly thing now? $5 here, $10 here. Fill up this jar. Buy me a car." There's always something going on. But we're back. We're back to church.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. But if you guys are praying people or just sending positive vibes, like, can you say a prayer for the midsection? Because I really need to eat my food. I got a Disney trip coming up, and I plan to eat all the foods like I do every year. I just can't be huddled over in pain.
What's that one place you guys like? That what is it? Gideon's
Bakehouse.
Gideon's Bakehouse.
Yeah, they have the best cookies on property. And I'm just, everything's booked. And the only thing we have not done is the dining reservations, because you have to wait 60 days to start them. But I made my list. So I have all my restaurants picked out, and we just have to call and get the reservations for them. But I mean, could you imagine, like, my stomach is this bad? I'm walking around Disney World, like, doubled over in pain. I'm going to be riding the bench for 16 days, man.
That might save you a couple $100.
I'm really upset about this. So please send positive vibes and prayers for my stomach, that they find something. I'd rather them find something wrong and be able to fix it than be like, oh no, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Because I know there's something there. Don't tell me there's nothing there. Well, there's something there. Somebody better find something. That's all I have to say. But other than that, everything's great.
Everything's just ducky.
It's so great. Yeah, it's great. So, but besides missing church, you still with the ball games and...
Oh my God, they don't stop. We were outside last night, and the temperature dropped.
It's too cold for these kids.
Oh my God. Like, it was so we had a rain out 2 weekends ago, and they weren't going to be made up because it was a travel game. So I got together with another coach, and I put together a weeknight game, but they have to be played super fast because the sun goes down. Well, what's happening now as well? Well, it's getting cold. And of course, all these dingleberry kids don't bring sweatshirts, and I'll let them play in a sweatshirt if they want, if it's not like a big, heavy, giant sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Every kid's in short sleeves out there. And they're all, it was 50, 57, but it felt like it was 27.
It's cold.
When it's the first cold night.
Yes.
Wow.
It's cold, especially when the wind blows. Like, there's a chill in the air.
Yeah.
It's fall. You can tell it's coming. Winter is coming.
We got our asses kicked. I mean, it was,
Did you?
Oh, it was bad. It was a shellacking. And this is off. We played Saturday as well. And we went to this beautiful facility in Loudoun County, Virginia. And we kicked butt. I mean, they were hitting the ball over the place. They were making play. It was an amazing game. I guess I left them out there because they did not show up yesterday. It was a shellacking.
Blame the weather.
What I told them in my post-game speech was those same kids went to the same school day, played in the same weather, and had the same, amount of elements to go against.
Oh.
But they kicked our butts. So,
yeah, well, you win some, you lose some.
Yes.
Talking about losers. No, I'm kidding. But what's going on with Tony Khan? Can we talk about, not that he's a loser, because he's not. That was just a joke that I was throwing in there. But what is happening with these tweets? Now I hear that even people from his own locker room are being like, he's a little cuckoo.
Yeah, this is bad. It goes back to the big thing. I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Why doesn't anybody just flat out, or maybe they haven't, we don't know, but why doesn't anybody just say, you got to stop publicly talking about stuff? Like, you have to stay behind the scenes and be more stoic and more maybe cerebral about, yeah, I mean, I'm professional as well about what you say in public, because he's had a hell of a 2 weeks, and maybe more about a week and a half. But I mean, this has been a absolute meltdown of cataclysmic proportions by one Tony K and his tweeting.
I feel like, people might have said something to him, but he's probably doesn't care. He's like, hey, I'm Tony Khan. It's my company. I can say what I want. Maybe he's got that kind of an attitude. But like when you listen back or read back what you've said, like some of it's a bit embarrassing. And I just, I don't know if these things were said out of frustration or I don't know if he's just trying to gloat about, I don't know, but can you pull some of them up? I haven't seen all of them. Yeah, I haven't seen, all of them, but I have talked to a couple people as well, and they're like, he's going off the deep end. And I'm like, really?
So here's where it starts. This is one of them right here. So this tweet by WrestleOps, right? Peak viewership segment of each program that went head to head last night took place in the opening quarter, right? And they break down the segments. Cody Rhodes, Dragunov, Dominic Rhea Ripley segment, 991,000 viewers. Christian Cage promo, Bryan and Swerve, 731,000 viewers, blah, blah. Okay. So it breaks it down, right?
Okay. So legit numbers.
Right. So then people start commenting on this post, right?
Yeah.
Just conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. This is it. So I'll spare everybody reading every comment.
No, I just want to see.
I'll get to the main one that caused stir, right? And it's right here.
Tony Khan is reading all the dirt sheets.
Right? He responds to a comment that says the difference is that Vince has the power and influence to take cheap shots. He's earned the right to make them. Tony Khan is Vince if you ordered him from Temu.
Oh, that's an insult.
You can shop like a billionaire, but you'll get the cheapest tat doing so. And he responds.
Just hold on, just to let people know, Temu.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so it's a website that offers things at an 80 to 90% discount. They'll show you pictures of items, and then when you get it, it's nothing like the picture. And it takes like a year for your stuff to be delivered. So you get stuff super duper cheap, but it is like the biggest knockoff company out there. And I think they're made in China. I think it's overseas.
Okay.
So
he responds with, yes, Vince has allegedly used his power and influence to shoot a lot of shots.
Okay.
So what is he referring to there when he says shoot a lot of shots?
I don't know.
Is he referring to Vince's infidelity?
Don't know.
Okay. Is he referring to Vince and monopoly of the wrestling industry? Like, what's he referring to?
It could go either way.
You
interpret it the way you want to interpret it.
Has Vince McMahon ever referenced Tony Khan once in anything?
No, because Vince McMahon doesn't have to. They're not competition for WWE. They don't see them as competition. Even though they technically are, they don't see them as a threat, right? Turn it around. Tony Khan is shaking in his boots anytime WWE or NXT does something. They're chasing Vince. Vince is not chasing AEW or Tony Khan. So there's your difference. Vince will never talk about him.
Right.
They will never reference them on Raw or SmackDown. They don't have to.
Yeah, it seems like a war between, if anything, the Triple H version of WWE and Tony Khan, right? So to take a cheap shot at Vince when just a fan brings up Vince is real defensive.
He's paranoid.
In my point of view.
He's paranoid right now. He is online on his own free time, searching every dirt sheet for little comments here and there. And he's responding to them. Now, Vince has a team, right? And we know that for a fact because we've been flagged for YouTube stuff, right? So that's not Vince McMahon sitting there, with the mouse clicking. He's got a team to do that. This is Tony Khan. Tony Khan, in his mind, he wants to know what's being said, when it's being said, who's saying it about him, and he wants to respond. And he's got to think twice about what he says because he is the authority figure. And it makes him look bad. It puts him in a bad light when he acts like a mark and starts fighting with fans. And I say that in a good way because we're all marks. Let me just reiterate, but still it's like he is now stepping down as the CEO or the president of AEW, and he's just, acting like he's a fan.
Right.
And he's responding, and he should not be. He shouldn't be. He should just be keeping his mouth shut. But to me, he's the type of person that if somebody says Tony Khan's a tool, he needs to respond and tell you why he's not a tool. You know what I'm saying? Because it's in his head. What?
I said, let me get my phone.
It's in his head. Like so many times, like Paul Heyman always told me, you have to have a thick skin to be in this business. And things used to make me cry all the time. And he's like, don't read the dirt sheets. Plain and simple. You don't see it, you don't worry about it. And he goes, for every one person that talks shit about you, there's 100 who love you. So worry about the 100 people who love you. Don't worry about that one person who's making a negative comment.
But even he's had his moments. I referenced before, there was an interview show I did a few years ago. Somebody talked bad about him. He went on a Saturday afternoon Twitter tirade about how what was said on the interview was false. So even Paul Heyman has his weak moments where it gets to him and goes after it.
Everybody has insecurities. There's not one person out there that's 100% confident about themselves. There's always at least 1%. Some people, it's worse. Like I said, I used to cry all the time. And now that I'm older, I realize you cannot please everybody in this world. So I think Tony needs to just take a step back and worry about his company and worry about filling those seats that are empty and trying to get new fans to turn on the product. Like those numbers, they were 200,000 down, 200,000 people down. And the numbers still aren't good. Like wrestling today is not seen like it was like in the 90s. And even in the 2000s, like the numbers were so much higher. The viewership, it's down considerably. So while 200,000 might have been not a lot back in the day, in this day and age it is, because they can barely hit 1 million viewers during the week on their weekly TV show. When are the numbers ever at 1 million anymore? They're really not. It's not very often.
Yeah.
So a discrepancy of 200,000 people are either changing the channel or they're not tuning into you and they're not buying tickets.
No.
So what's going on? He's got to take a step back and say, listen, I'm doing something wrong. He needs a team. He needs support system to help him. He needs to get off the internet and stop with this bullshit about reading all these comments. Who cares? In his mind, he should be thinking, how do I turn this around? How do I make this a positive out of a negative? Not fighting with fans. Right. That just shows like his insecurities and it makes him look ridiculous.
Yeah, because trust me, WWE's not celebrating over an under $1 million, under 1 million viewer rating. That's not right. That's nothing to write home about for them.
No, but you don't see, under Vincent K. McMahon's Twitter account or even under Hunter's, you don't see them trolling on the internet and trying to find tidbits. Look, there is smack talk across every platform about every single person who has ever been in the wrestling business. It would take me 1 million hours to go through all the hate probably that has been said about me. It happens to all of us. You have to just brush it off and try and do better and try to change what's wrong, and not try to change everyone's mind, because you're not going to. There are always going to be those fans who don't like AEW and who don't like Tony Khan and think that he's just a mark with money and he doesn't know how to run, a company or run a locker room. He's not going to change their mind no matter what he does, because they are WWE loyalists and they will always be loyal to the WWE product.
Right.
And that's just the way it is. For him to just keep bouncing back like this and tweeting nonsense just makes him look so bad.
Yeah.
No, so bad. And when your locker room goes public and it's like, hey, Tony, you need to just chill. Like, let's not talk about this or blah, blah, blah. When people in the locker room are starting to say stuff, whether it's on the record or off the record, you need to take a step back and be like, oh, maybe I should just keep my mouth shut.
It's getting pretty bad. So now he went into a fan's DMs. He slid into his DMs and
Did
went
he?
off on a fan. Yeah, I didn't pull that up because he sent him some message, and the fan then issued a statement, which was ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Gave that fan 5 minutes of
Exactly.
social media adulation. This was the one that I didn't get. And somebody like him, Tony, who is this guy who presents himself as this, I'm a big fan. I love all kinds of wrestling, old school, Japan, Mexico. This tweet was the one that I just couldn't really wrap my head around. And it was in reference to the ratings. And it said this week, 2 active decades-long rating streaks from 2 great legends were ended. With all due respect, until this week's head-to-head AEW on TBS versus WWE on USA, neither John Cena nor Undertaker had ever been on a WWE show with under 1 million total viewers, plus under 400K in the demo. So he just called out John Cena and The Undertaker as not being a draw.
Right.
WWE, which was completely uncalled for. And he just took 2 shots at guys who are established legends and have really no dog in this fight.
Yeah, he's just taking cheap shots here. And the program that he's talking about they were head to head with AEW, correct?
Yes.
So what were the numbers though? Under 1 million, was it the numbers?
That's the final NXT number was like 960 something or 930 something.
Still, your show is over 200,000 viewers less.
But they lost. AEW
That's
lost.
what I'm saying. So what? It doesn't matter. Like he's trying to throw up this fact, but it's still, your show came in second again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those 200,000 people would rather look at John Cena and the Undertaker than watch anything that AEW is offering, right?
Got me to watch the segment with the Undertaker.
He's just taking cheap shot at this point, and it's just it's ridiculous. He's acting like a child. He's just acting like a child.
Yeah, and then I don't know if he deleted it or not because I can't find it. But then there's the one where there was an article. So another one of the dirt sheet sites tweeted about the war, the one night war, the Tuesday night war. And it was a picture of Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the DX attire. And It was like, the war is on. And he retweeted that article with a meme or some sort of picture. And it said bald asshole. And, somebody I know thought that was very childish. And and I agree, it is very childish.
Yeah.
But this is a guy who's in a powerful position. That It's not even it's a cheap shot. It's so lame.
If
it's a credibility killer.
Listen, if they came back, if AEW came back and won that week's ratings, right? Then I can see Tony doing some kind of tweet and gloating. We reached over 1 million viewers this week, and thank you to everybody, like in a professional manner kind of deal, like, but still gloating about it. But when your program is still not outperforming your opposition and you're trying to take cheap shots at the other company, it just makes you look weak, and it makes him look like a fool. And he just needs to stay off of social media. The only thing that he does that I like is on Wednesday nights, like for Dynamite, he'll go, thank you to, whoever tuned in this evening. We had a great show, blah, blah. That I can deal with. That is great. Like, do that all day. Don't take these stupid, lame shots and, curse and you don't see Vince doing it. Just like the media stuff that they were doing after the shows. He's sitting there dropping F-bombs and being all crazy, and you don't see Vince doing that. You don't see Hunter doing that.
Vince didn't go to any of those.
But I'm just saying, you don't see them using profanities like that and just being like, I don't know. It's like they're losing their minds. It doesn't look professional, And I talked about it with one of the workers that worked there, and they agreed with me. I'm not going to say who it was. 100% agreed with me, and they're just like, he does what he wants to do. I'm like, well, yeah, it's his company. He can do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's right. And it doesn't make you guys look professional. I think it
WCW
drags the whole,
2.0. I
it
said it
makes
how
the
many
company,
times?
it drags the company down.
Let me share this with you, and I just referenced it before. This is the look of the arena from last Saturday night.
Wow. Wow. That's a TV taping?
So this is I believe the ROH portion of the television taping from Saturday night.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Is this before they go live on television?
So this is picture your when you were on the ECW brand,
Yeah.
okay, and you taped ECW after SmackDown. Okay. How many fans left after SmackDown?
I remember the building being just as full.
Okay. This is ROH taped after Collision.
Okay. Okay.
But
That's
still, that's the formerly known as Edge, Adam Copeland, in the middle of the ring. So if that's the hard cam and that's him facing the cam, however it's
that
lit
can't
for
be hard.
television.
No, this can't be the way they filmed it for ROH. There's no way they would show an empty background like that. He must have just pivoted and the fan just took a picture who was on that side. Hard camera must have been full. It had to have been, because there's no way they would show something like this on television. No way.
Well, maybe you're right, because I was just thinking. I think the announce table's to the left, and then that would mean the entryways to the right, which means the other side where he's looking would be the
because it's always on the left-hand side. So this fan is there's no way that this is hard camera side.
Yeah, no, you're right. Maybe, or unless this is post show and they turn the lights up.
But even still, it doesn't matter which side it is. Even if they had to like move people, that's pathetic.
Yeah,
that whole area is empty.
Yeah.
Was that all full during the other? That's my question. During the AEW broadcast, was that all full? Did they all walk out?
Negative.
So it wasn't full.
As far as I know, it was not.
Okay. Well, then you can't blame ROH for making people leave, like you suggested earlier.
Think about venues that ECW ran.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where AEW needs to start looking.
Well, now looking at this building, I said this a while ago because we showed a picture, I think about a month or so ago, and it was a bit empty. And what did I say to you? Do you remember? I said they need to start booking smaller venues. Yeah. This looks like a smaller venue to me.
It does. It's like one of those like junior hockey arenas or something. It's not your major one.
They can't fill this?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. For your TVs, that's pretty bad. I can see like if you're doing house shows, which they don't do house show runs, they're only doing 3 days of television. I can see house shows if this is the way the building looks. Okay, fine. But you're running TV with your biggest stars and you can't fill those seats. That looks like, what would that fill? Maybe 600-700 people right there?
If that, yeah, you'd have a better gauge of that than I would.
That doesn't seem right to me. Something's going on. Ticket sales are down, and they need to. Man, they need a street team. Do they have a street team?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's coming very handy.
They do. Street teams. I mean, staple of how many past promotions and indie promotions. Those always work.
We had a street team.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, I remember sending in applications for street teams back in the day because that was a way to just get in somewhere.
Right.
Hey, let me pass out flyers. Let me go stand in the Meadowlands parking lot and hand out a flyer.
Yeah, we gave them free tickets. I think they got to come in and see the show for free if they volunteered to, promote during the day. But it helps because you're getting people in off the street. Maybe they didn't have anything to do, and we didn't know you were here, and it's so amazing. And you go back to like the Wembley show. And I know that they don't go to that area at all. So that was like, a once a year thing, and they drew all those fans. But it's like your home base in the US and you can't fill up a side of a smaller arena. They went from, in the beginning, they were filling up 15, 16,000 seats arenas. And now what are they drawing? How many people are they drawing? Like 5,000 for a TV?
It's crazy. They should be running. They should be running at the ECW arena. They should be running in theaters. They should be running in small armories.
Smaller. Not even the a 5,000 seater to where even if you have to drape over some of like the upper sections and move people down, it still doesn't look bad because you can get a tight camera shot and you can cut that the upper section off and nobody will even know it. You know what I mean? For TV, it looks good. I mean, if you're there live, you might say, oh, those seats are kind of empty, but you can make it look good on TV if he's, get in really tight and drape it off with the black tarp. It looks fine. They just need to, and they would save money too. They would save so much more money if they cut their budget with these bigger arenas and just went to a smaller venue. And it would be momentum for the workers too. You come out to a huge venue and no one's in there. Do you know how much of a bummer that is? Do you know every time Edge turned around, he probably looked at those empty seats and was like, what the frig? You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's the guy who hasn't wrestled in front of that small crowd probably since 1997.
He's so used to having thousands and thousands of people look at him, and it hits you in the gut. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? And why aren't these names drawing? Why aren't they drawing for them? Something needs to be done. Yeah. Do you blame Tony Khan or do you blame the talent? I don't know.
But then, let's actually we could pick up a topic that we forgot to even throw on the list. Picking up from
I
Adam.
mentioned that to you yesterday.
Yeah, I know, but when we were getting our show together, I forgot to throw this one on here.
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Starks, Adam Copeland promo from this past week, where apparently, once again,
cheap shots
getting slung like mud in the middle of that ring, and a guy like Edge, I'm going to call him Edge because that's just how I know him. I mean, the guys that I know that worked with him call him Edge. A guy who's so respected like him, how would you ever take liberties with a guy like that in the middle of the ring on live television? Do you think you're trying to get one over on him? Do you think that you're just trying to test him to see how fast he still is? But apparently Ricky Starks went off script and the Edgester wasn't that happy with it.
It goes back to like Jungle Boy and CM Punk not getting along and going into business for themselves. And you're seeing it again. Are we going to have a feud behind the scenes with these two? Are they not going to get along? Is it going to cause a rift in the company? Are we going to have a fourth show so that they can be separated and be on different brands? Like, why can't people just get along and stay on script? Why does everybody go into business for themselves in that company? I don't understand it. If we did something like that, we'd get reprimanded. And I said it before, you do that in WWE, you get your ass chewed. As soon as you walk through that curtain, you're in trouble. Unless you're a Rock, a Stone Cold, an Undertaker, a John Cena. Anybody else, you're dead. You know what I mean? So these guys, especially with someone like Edge, like, why? Did something trigger him? That's what I would love to know. And I couldn't find anything that happened behind the scenes. Like, was there an altercation when they came through that curtain? What went on? But why is this happening? Are we being worked? Did they work this out and they're trying to portray it as a shoot? I don't know. I heard it was a shoot, but I wasn't there, so I don't know. But if this is, something that they are going in, this kid Ricky is going into business for himself.
Yeah, well,
I'll bring it up. Sorry, I hit it before I told you I was going to bring it up.
Oh, I was just going to say, if he's doing this is going to cause a problem. This is another problem. And is Tony just going to be like, oh, well, what are you going to do? Or is he going to open his mouth and avoid what happened between Jack Perry and CM Punk?
Well, let's see. Here's the segment, or the 30 seconds.
Don't look at me like that with those bug eyes, sir. I'm talking to this guy.
It's your stupid silk slacks, dumbass.
Yeah, well, sadly, you didn't take style from the other place, but either way.
And you took it from The Rock.
Either
job.
way.
Can't help that you're a midget version of that, but shut your mouth and talk to him instead of me, kid.
Yikes.
Know your role.
Wow. That really set me over the edge. Either way, Brian.
Oh,
That was
dude.
funny.
Way, the different thing. Don't look.
Yeah. No, it's just, that was weird. It's just weird.
So yeah, so that's
I don't know, man.
I mean, this place is just like
We're out of control.
it's out of control. That's really all you could say. Again, and you were in the place that was said to be out of control, and you're talking about how nope, if it was said that it seemed like it was over the line, you guys more than likely got it okayed first.
Do you know how many times that one of the guys had to talk about me on the mic, and they would be like, "Is it okay if I call you this? Is it?" And I was just, after a while, I'm just like, do what you want. I don't care, because I said it a million times. Anything that's inside the ring is a work. Now, if you call me that in the locker room, as we're driving in a car, if we're eating dinner, I'll be offended. But you can call me anything you want in the ring. I didn't care. But they always came to me, and, I don't know if it's because I'm a woman or, some of the things were a little vulgar, but I was always a good sport about it. I didn't care. You know what I mean? I always thought if we're in the ring, it's a work.
Yeah.
We're working with each other, and we're trying to pop the crowd and also to pop each other. So we would say things that sometimes only, you and I might have known, and we'd laugh about it. The fans would be like, what the hell's going on? But they would always be respectful enough to come to me and say, I'm going to call you the C word. I'm going to call you this. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. You know what I mean? Because it's in the ring. So for, them shooting on each other and making it personal, it's like you're going off script. You're going to cause problems again. They just went through the same thing like a million times over with other guys. Like, what have you learned from all this? Nobody's learned anything. And Tony's not doing a damn thing about it. So
probably,
it's not going
to...
He's got his headphones on going, good job. Way to go.
With his coffee.
I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. And again, a younger guy going after a vet. And why? There's got to be a backstory that we don't know. So maybe more will develop, but in the same breath, it's like, just stick to the script, man. Unless you say, hey, can I just ad lib? And then he says, sure, say what you want, and we'll go back and forth. Because that happens sometimes, but like I said, they're reporting it as he was really pissed off. And I don't know. Just stop going into business for yourself.
Rule number 1, right? I mean, is that the I wouldn't even think it's a unwritten rule. It's like a written rule, right? Don't go into business for yourself.
Apparently not, because people do it all the time. I don't know. I mean, it's one thing to be sneaky and politic behind the scenes, because we've talked about that as well, and a lot of the boys do that. But like, to literally go in front of the cameras and a live crowd and just flip the script and say whatever the hell you want, that's not okayed, and just bury, your colleague without them knowing, like, that's pretty low, and it shouldn't be done. So I don't know. Hopefully we'll find out some more. I'm going to try to get my spies in on it and see what I can find out.
The proverbial, what do you call it? Like, cup to the cup on the string to your spies.
The cup works. If you put a glass against the wall. Chris Chetty and I were in a hotel room once. We were all going to a club, and he knocked on my door, and I let him in, and we heard people next door. I think they were having sex or something. He grabbed the cup and put it up. We could hear them through the cup. It works.
What else would you do with the cup against the wall in a hotel?
Chris is like, listen to this. I was like, ooh, it's hilarious. But anyway.
EC Dub.
Yeah. And then we left and went to the club. So it was fun.
And there you go.
Yeah, crazy.
Now, speaking of a AEW talent that maybe escaped into greener pastures.
Sasha Banks. No, Monet.
Mercedes Varnado.
Yes. Is that her name?
Yes.
Or is she not Monet Money anymore?
Well, that's like her shoot name is Mercedes
Yes,
Varnado.
I know. Okay.
Yeah, this came out over the weekend.
Okay.
She was at the New York Comic-Con, and I'm going to play you a fan video.
This can't be good.
Somebody asked her about her departure from WWE, and just her response is causing a little bit of a stir.
Oh, okay.
I was New Japan Wrestling training you. I know that you had left WWE because of the creative issues. So
is that the reason?
That's what I read.
Oh, that's what you read. You weren't there. So no.
So what's the real reason?
Why would I tell you? Why would I just tell you?
I want to know.
You ain't gonna see my interview. You ain't gonna read my book. You ain't gonna see me in the future.
I do all of that. Yeah.
All right, then just wait. Then you just wait.
I got you.
Okay, cool. Thank you, JJ. Appreciate you. Keep on reading your fiction books, okay?
Listen to her. Don't listen to yourself. Thank you very much.
I was New Japan.
Wow. Okay.
So what do you think of that?
I think it was a little snippy. I think she gets a little snippy. A lot.
Snippy. That was a little snippy.
It was a little snippy. Like I understand the frustration, but there's a way, especially when a fan pays money to get your autograph. Because I was assuming she knew his name, so I was assuming she was signing for him.
Right.
Okay, so he had given her what? How much money did he spend? I don't even know.
I'm gonna pull it up right now because it ain't cheap.
Okay, so if that's the case, in my mind, I say to myself, well, he just bought something. So I try to be as kind as I can. I don't try to be condescending, because it was a legit question. It wasn't like he said something inappropriate to her. Right. Somebody last weekend told me that their son went up to her at the airport and she said, and this is a small kid, and she said, "Get away from me." And just kept walking.
Oh boy.
And Alexa Bliss apparently was behind her and said to the kid, "What did she just say to you?" And the kid was like, "She told me to get away from her." And Alexa Bliss said, "Don't worry about her. It's okay." Like, she was nice to the kid.
Right.
This is what I heard from the father. So I hear that she could be snippy, but there's a way to handle these kind of questions. And if you've been doing it for a long time, and she has, she should know better, because these people are spending their hard-earned money. If I was that fan, I would never buy something from her again. I wouldn't, just for the simple fact that she was rude. And, whether you want to be there or not, you're lucky that you can sit there and sign autographs for a living. Yes, you given your body, we all have, and we've all bumped, we've all done it, but now we get to sit there and we get to write our name for thousands of dollars. And I appreciate every booking that I have, because there's somebody somewhere out there digging a ditch for $8 an hour and doing manual labor. And I'm sitting in an air-conditioned room signing my name to a piece of paper. And I'm making what that poor guy probably makes in a month. So think about it that way. I'm making it in a day. That's the way I think about it. And I appreciate the fans, even though some of them do ask dumb questions. We know that. It's inevitable. You're going to get the dumb questions. Be nice. Be nice about it. You don't have to be hateful. It's just my take.
I can't pull it up, but she gets a lot. She gets 75 and up, I would say, or probably even close to $100 if you're going to get a signature. I mean, that's good. Good amount.
Yeah, and I'm sure that she didn't bring herself in.
No,
she's getting a flat fee for that. So think again. You're there to make the money back for the person who brought you in. So if you're rude, and the guy behind you hears that, maybe he'll walk away and won't want your autograph. And then the guy that brought you in is out $100 because you were just rude to the person in front of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I've never met her. I think she's a very, very talented worker. You know, she's a good talent, but I hear a lot of negativity about the way she treats fans. You can't take away the work ethic, but you need to work on your personality a little bit. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, you just say, hey, don't believe everything you read.
Exactly. Oh, I usually say, did you read that on the internet? The kid will go, yeah. I go, oh, it must be true then. Just finish signing. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know?
Shane always says, they say I have 2 extra wives and this and that,
Yeah.
you turn it into something funny.
Turn into a joke sometimes, or, if it's on the internet, it's 100% true. And then the kid will just stare at you like, well, is it? It's like an awkward moment. You hand back the picture and they walk away. You don't have to be mean, or you don't have to be rude.
Especially when somebody's got this.
Yeah. Yeah, because how did that make her look? That made her look nasty. And she might be a lovely person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you would never know it watching that video.
No.
And, they do say, like, maybe they got her at a bad moment. But how many bad moments have been captured?
Really bad moment.
I don't know.
Not the best. And New York City Comic-Con, you got to pay an arm and a leg just to get in there.
Yeah, it's a big one, and it's an expensive one. So, yeah. I don't know. Like I said, she might be a lovely human being. And, people have praised her work. I've watched her work. I think she's tremendous. I'm looking forward to see if she, what she does in AEW, if she does sign with them. But this kind of stuff just makes you look nasty. And, if I was her friend, I would have said, hey, have you seen that video going around? And she would either, 2 things could happen. You either say, I don't care. This is me. I don't care. Or, oh my God, I have to lighten up. Can you see who that is?
Who is it?
Shane.
Yes. Yes.
But I'd be embarrassed if that was me and that video was making the rounds. I would be embarrassed. So I don't know. Maybe she doesn't care.
Doesn't care.
No. I wonder if the fan cared.
Flip her colored hair back. She doesn't care. Is it a wig? Do you think it's a wig or is it real?
I don't know. Never met the girl. I couldn't tell you.
Probably real. She wrestles in it, so it would probably be real.
Well, if it's a weave, it's sewn into your scalp line.
Oh, is it really? I never knew how.
The most I wore was a fake ponytail before, but I've never had
when I take this hat off, I have very long flowing locks, so I don't need a weave. Oh, yeah, very long.
I don't know. The bottom line is I try to be courteous and friendly to everybody because, they work hard for their money and they're giving it to me and I appreciate it. So thank you guys. And hopefully if you meet me, I'm kind to you.
Which they will have the opportunity to do so on November 11th.
Woo! Look at that poster.
Yeah, on November 11th, you can come out to the Virginia Beach Fieldhouse, and I'm moving in a little bit closer.
Okay.
Virginia Beach Fieldhouse, 2020 Lansdowne Center Way in Virginia Beach, Virginia. 250 plus vendor tables, sports cards, comic books, Pokemon, toys, action figures, Funko Pops, and the Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Me. I'm the only woman in the picture. Am I going to be the only woman in the building?
You will be the only woman in the building. No, I'm sure there'll be a couple others sprinkled in there. But no, you're the wrestling dignitary of the group, but there's also football guests, baseball guests. It's a great show. I work with the show very, very closely. And I'll tell you, we built it from maybe like 25, or no, maybe just 75 tables to up to 250.
Wow.
Plus 250 plus. You see the plus there? Yeah, I believe you'll be signing from 11 to 1.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to that. That's a nice time. It's a good time.
So
yeah,
757 card shows. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook.
I just followed them actually this morning because they put up that poster and I clicked them and they were following me. So I followed them back. So give them a follow. And if you're in the Virginia Beach area or close by, make the drive, come see me. I don't get down there very often.
Yeah. Even if you're over the bridge, if you're over the bridge in like the Hampton area, come on over the bridge.
Yeah, what's it take? 10 minutes to cross the bridge? Like literally.
20-ish.
Yeah, come on over and see me. Because the last time I was in Virginia Beach, I think was with ECW. I have not been down there in a very long time. So
it's changed a lot since then. I'll tell you that.
Well, I don't remember it anyway, so it's not going to make it.
Well, yeah, then who cares?
Yeah, we don't care. So yeah, but that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout.
You'll be there, so absolutely.
Yeah.
So other than that,
wow, this was a long one.
This was.
I love how we were like, oh, we don't have much to talk about, and then we just talk for like forever. It just goes by super quick.
As long as you have gastro problems, we'll have something to talk about for the rest of our lives.
I hope to God they're fixed by the next episode, but I doubt it. Yeah, but
well, there's our cliffhanger.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I have that. Wait,
will Francine get her stomach fixed? Will she ever eat again? Tune in next week. Yeah, problems always. We'll see, but I'll have a full report on my doctor visit next week. There you go. Look at that. Brilliant.
All right. Well, if you want to follow me, it's at Chad ED on Twitter, at IB Exclusives on Instagram. You can go to my website, ibexclusives.com. We'll be gearing up for 2024 soon, very soon. Okay. The end of the year is right around the corner. But please head over to the you're on the YouTube channel already, but please like and share. That's what we would need. We need more subscribers. Yeah, but if you're watching this, you're subscribed.
No.
If you're a member, this full episode.
Well, yeah, but if they're watching on YouTube with the clips.
Oh, if you're watching with the clips, you gotta subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how many people are not subscribed to the channel that just watch and have not hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, well, they gotta subscribe.
Yeah,
share. Tell a wrestling fan who would then tell another wrestling fan who then will tell somebody who's not a wrestling fan that will just subscribe because they're a good Samaritan. But please just help us grow this channel as we just try to trudge along and keep on growing it. So that's all I got. But what?
Well, I was going to say we're going to do a Halloween episode. We're going to do a YouTube live next week.
Yes.
Is it going to be Tuesday evening?
Yes.
Okay. What time are we going live?
7 or 8, maybe 8. I'd say 8.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, I'd say 8.
Okay. Let's mark that down. So 8 o'clock Tuesday, which is the 23rd. Is that correct? No, 24th.
Yeah, that was the 24th.
Yep. Okay. The 24th at 8 p.m. We're going to have our Halloween episode a little early this year. But hopefully y'all can come and we'll have some surprises for you. And God knows what kind of costumes we'll be in. So that'll be a fun one. And if you are so inclined, please go to PWTs. There's 10 t-shirts to choose from. We do have an Eyes Up Here t-shirt that's mighty pretty. And there are a bunch of Queen of Extreme shirts as well. And thanks for watching. With that, that is a wrap.